Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where a cop got pulled over for drunk driving and then tried to abuse his authority. The footage used in this video is brought to you by MLive's channel on YouTube. All relevant links can be found in the description. On November 13th, 2016, the Montmorency County Sheriff's Department received numerous 911 calls about a pickup truck driving recklessly on the roads of Montmorency County in Michigan. Deputy Zachary Morrison was on duty when he was informed by dispatch about the pickup truck. Soon after, Deputy Morrison spotted a truck that matched the description provided to him and initiated a traffic stop right away. Deputy Morrison's dashcam also captured the pickup truck going off onto the shoulder in a reckless manner. Deputy Morrison approached the vehicle and immediately requested the driver for his license, registration, and proof of insurance. As the driver pulled out his wallet to look for the requested items, a badge could be seen which indicated he was a fellow cop. The driver also flashed the badge at Deputy Morrison just to make sure he acknowledged it, hinting that he was expecting to be treated differently.
Okay, you got your ID?
The driver here is 47-year-old Brian Filipiak, a Washtenaw County Sheriff's Lieutenant who was off duty at the time he was pulled over. Deputy Morrison informed Lieutenant Filipiak about why he was pulled over and then asked him if he had anything to drink that afternoon. Lieutenant Filipiak responded by telling Deputy Morrison that he did indeed have a couple drinks, but was just heading home at the time.
The reason why I'm stopping you is we got multiple reckless driving calls about you. Okay? And then when I'm following you, you're hitting the shoulder of the road. You been drinking? How many? Okay. What are you reaching in the back for? I seen you reaching in the back. You have an open container back there? Okay, you been drinking on the way here? You got your registration, proof of insurance? Do you have a firearm on you? Okay. Do you got your pistol? Are you a corrections officer or just deputy? Lieutenant? Okay. Alright, just attach it right back to you.
After Deputy Morrison verified Lieutenant Filipiak's identity, he returned to the vehicle and told Lieutenant Filipiak to step out of the truck for a field sobriety test in order to make sure he didn't have too much to drink, even though it was pretty obvious that he was not in a position to be driving at all.
Brian, I'm going to have you step out of the car when I'll do some field sobriety test for you. Okay?
He showed every sign of being highly intoxicated, from slurred speech to watery eyes. It became obvious that he was drunk. Despite this, Lieutenant Filipiak refused to step out and told Deputy Morrison to let him go home or just sleep it out at the side of the road.
I'm going to ask you to step out of the vehicle. What would you like me to do?
Just let me go.
I can't. I had multiple phone calls. You'd be in the same situation if I was in the vehicle in your county, correct?
All right, just let me stay here. Okay?
Deputy Morrison replied by telling him that his hands are tied and that he would certainly not let him go like this.
You can't. I'm going to ask you nicely to step out of this vehicle. Brian, my hands are tied. If I let you go, I'm going to lose my career over you. You don't think I wouldn't? This is northern Michigan. We're a small department. Okay, I'm going to ask you nicely to step out of the vehicle. You know I have my job to do. You know that.
Yeah, I just want you.
And I understand your point, your position. Okay, I'm trying to be as cooperative and nice to you as I can.
Despite Deputy Morrison's continuous efforts in trying to have Lieutenant Filipiak step out of the vehicle, Lieutenant Filipiak did not stop requesting to be let off.
Just let me go.
I can't let you go. We're way past that point. You know this. You're a lieutenant. You know how this works.
Yeah, I do.
You would tell one of your deputies if they called you right on the side of the road and they asked you what to do. So, If one of your deputies is in the position as I am right now, calling you as a lieutenant, Lieutenant, this is what I got. What should I do? You're just going to say let him go? Why? Just because. You're intoxicated. I know it. You've opened alcohol in the vehicle that you're stabbing your back. I know it. You know it.
He also went on to say that Deputy Morrison would not lose his job by letting this situation slide.
I'm not losing my career over you.
You don't have to.
This will make me lose my career over you.
It won't.
So I'm going to ask you one more time. Step out of this vehicle nicely for me.
This was obviously not going to be the case. If Deputy Morrison had swept this ordeal under the rug, he would not only be terminated from service, but also charged with a misdemeanor, punishable by imprisonment for up to 1 year, or a fine of $1,000. Deputy Morrison made it very clear that he knew what was going on, and that Lieutenant Flipiak had way too much to drink. Allegedly, the deputy had also seen Lieutenant Flipiak trash some open containers in the back seat while being pulled over. After almost 5 whole minutes of requesting Lieutenant Flipiak to step out of his vehicle, Deputy Morrison rightfully lost his patience and opened the door before ordering the lieutenant to step out without forcing himself to further escalate the situation.
I am being a good guy. Ryan, out of this vehicle. I'm asking you nicely. I don't want to see anything worse happen. Okay?
No, just let me go.
Deputy Morrison then told Lieutenant Flipiak that he would be arresting for R&O if he continued to refuse.
You know, the next thing, I'm going to go hands-on with you.
No,
And you're going to go to jail for R&O. You want that?
No, I don't want that.
Out of this vehicle right now.
R&O, short for resisting and obstructing a police officer, is a felony punishable by imprisonment for up to 2 years, or a fine of $2,000, or both. 5 more minutes after that, Deputy Morrison warned Lieutenant Flipiak that he will be tased if he refused to comply any further.
Last time, step out of this vehicle peacefully with me. Be a man about it.
Alright, so can we be a...
Step out peacefully.
No.
Be a man about it.
Alright,
And let's deal with the consequences.
so,
Or I start yanking in you
don't
and
yank.
get you out of here. And if you keep resisting, you're going to get a taser.
No, I'm not going to fight you.
Both officers attempted to physically pull Lieutenant Flipiak out, but failed to do so since he was actively resisting.
Step it up.
No, we talk about it. Guys,
Step out of the vehicle!
As a result, Deputy Morrison pulled out his taser and pointed it at Lieutenant Flipiak, telling him that he would get tased if he failed to comply.
You're getting a taser. Back up. Taser right now if you don't get out.
In this situation, Deputy Morrison had every right to discharge his taser and would not have been held accountable for doing so. Luckily, threatening Lieutenant Flipiak with the taser proved to work, and he finally got out of his vehicle.
You got your firearm on you.
no, I don't.
I'm patting you down. Turn around.
As per protocol, Deputy Morrison searched Lieutenant Flipiak for any weapons, and then asked him if he would take the field sobriety test or not.
Are you going to do sobriety test?
2134 still with you?
It's affirmative.
Can I just pull off?
No.
Hang on.
You're going to do field sobriety test for me.
To this, the lieutenant yet again started to negotiate with the officers and requested them to either let him pull off and go about his day, or let him sleep it off so he'd be good to drive home.
Test for me.
No, just let me pull
Brian, we're done with this.
Hold on.
Talk to me. Yes or no? Are you doing field sobriety tests?
Alright, so if this was the other situation,
As expected, Deputy Morrison did not put up with any of that. After some struggle, both officers on the scene managed to place Lieutenant Flipiak in handcuffs and arrested him for suspicion of operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated.
okay, stop.
You're
Stop.
you're not
No,
going to
I'm not resisting, but let's stop.
You're
Let's talk
tensed
about
up.
Let's talk about it. Okay.
We've talked. I don't want to put you on the ground.
No,
I don't want to make
you
this
to.
worse.
Alright, I will just sleep it off.
You're
Dude,
stop it right now. You know? Stop it.
Lieutenant Flipiak was walked to the patrol car, where he suddenly wanted to make a deal with the officers.
alright, so let's make a deal. Okay?
To this, Deputy Morrison immediately shut Lieutenant Flipiak down and informed him that he would be going to jail, where the officers would offer him the Data Master Breath Test, and if he refused that, The officers would then obtain a search warrant that would give them the authority to take him to the hospital and draw his blood to test his alcohol levels.
You know what happens. We're going to take you to the jail and ask for a data master. And if you refuse that, we're going to get a search warrant for your blood. Take you to the hospital and get blood.
Deputy Morrison ordered Lieutenant Flipiak to sit in his patrol car so that he could be transferred to the police station.
Sitting back in my car.
No, just...
There's no about it. You were sitting back in my car.
However, the lieutenant still didn't want to comply and said, "I am who you guys are. Do you guys realize that?" Making it pretty obvious that all he wanted was to let his authority be the reason he was pardoned.
Brian, have a seat.
Stop, guys. Hold on. I'm who you guys are. Do you guys realize that?
Yes.
Okay, then stop.
He clearly thought that he was above the law, but the officers on scene were sure to make it clear he wasn't. Regardless, after some more tussling, Lieutenant Flipiak was finally placed inside the patrol car and was transported to the police station to bear the consequences of his actions. As a result of the breath tests at the police station, Lieutenant Flipiak's blood alcohol level was found to be at 0.28 and 0.27%. For context, in the United States, the legal limit for a person operating a motor vehicle is a mere 0.08%, making Lieutenant Flipiak's blood alcohol concentration level more than 3 times the limit. This made him fall under Michigan State's super drunk law, leaving him open to 180 days in jail, fines up to $700, and up to 360 hours of community service. Flipiak was initially charged with misdemeanor operating while intoxicated, with a blood alcohol level of 0.17 or more for the incident, but pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of operating while intoxicated on January 27, 2022. He was released from jail 1 day after his arrest after posting 10% of the $3,000 bond. In a statement made by Washtenaw County Sheriff Jerry Clayton, he commended Deputy Morrison for the quality of his work and condemned Lieutenant Flipiak's actions. Sheriff Clayton said that, whether a community member or police services professional, one cannot view the video of this off-duty incident and not be extremely disappointed, and also that such conduct in no way reflects the values of the Sheriff's Office or the behaviors that we expect from our staff. It dishonors the exceptional and compassionate service provided daily by members of the Sheriff's Office and other police service professionals. Soon after, Lieutenant Flipiak was placed on unpaid administrative leave during the internal investigation and is now employed on a conditional basis working in a support capacity at reduced compensation, according to the department. This entire ordeal goes to show that no matter the position in society, one cannot deem themselves to be above the law. Be sure to check out our previous video, where we cover another outrageous police encounter.